Good morning. Today is Sunday, the 5th of July, and it's Mark chapter 7 this morning. And we're looking at some more action, some more healings, some more things that Jesus is doing. First thing he does is he has a meal. And he eats with people who have not done ritual cleansing of their hands. And so the Pharisees come to him and they criticize him. And they say, you're not following the law of Moses. And they have this interchange, this back and forth, this sort of confrontation with each other. And at some point, when he's finished saying what he needs to say, he calls the crowds around him. And he says this profound thing. He says, "Listen to me, all of you, and understand. There is nothing outside a person that by going in can defile, but the things that come out are what defile." So by these statements, he makes all foods clean from this point on and says that it is the intentions behind evil actions that are what are evil, that defile. So you can't really say that you can ingest evil. He's saying, you create that evil within yourself. For that bad stuff is from within, from the human heart, that evil intentions come. And there's a long laundry list of evil things that people could do. So, that's a really good thing. He's going against tradition here and saying that's more important, the condition of the soul. The next story is one of my favorite from the Gospels. It is the Syrophoenician woman, and it really relates to the first story where he goes against tradition, because his response to this outsider, this woman who is not one of his tribe, one of his group, his in-group, she comes to him and she would like her daughter to be healed. And he says to her, "Let the children be fed first," meaning the children of Israel. We do not take our bread and throw it to the dogs. And even though he calls her a dog in this passage, she says, "Sir, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." So he responds with the traditional response you would expect of a rabbi when a woman like this came to him. However, she pushes him. And it's almost like it's a test, and she passes, because he says, "For saying that, you may go. The demon has left your daughter." So she went home and found the child lying on the bed, and the demon was gone. It's just two passages about going against the rituals and rules of the time, of the tradition. And it's Jesus that is upholding it in the second passage in the story about the Syrophoenician woman. But he changes his mind about it, heals the woman nonetheless, and has this exchange with her. I love that story because she's an outsider and because there is a lesson there about how we treat people, no matter where they're from. And then the last little vignette in chapter 7 is Jesus curing a deaf man in the region of Tyre, and it is in the Decapolis. So he's back there where he was, where the guy in the tombs was. And they brought him a deaf man who also had a speech impediment. And he is very active. He sticks his fingers in the guy's ears and he spits, and he puts his spit on the guy's tongue, and the guy can speak. He said, be open to his ears in Aramaic. And then the guy can hear and the guy can speak. And they were just amazed. He told everyone not to tell anybody, but they still did. And they proclaimed it zealously, it says. And they were astounded beyond measure. He's done everything well, and he makes the deaf to hear and the mute to speak. Can I have hope in a God that does that? Amen.